No MAAM. If you've came here for a subtlety, you picked the wrong episode. Because today's guest doesn't walk into a room, they stomp, they spin, and drop it so hard, the floor files a noise complaint. NYCNightlife knows her, dance floors fear her, knees optional. Besties, tighten your wigs, stretch your hamstrings, because this episode is about performance, presence, and dancing the house all the way down.
But before we get into it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No MAAM.
All right, friends, our guest today is a performer's performer. Thick, talented, and built to make a dance floor question its structural integrity. She doesn't just perform, she commands. Friends, make some noise for Vampy Von Thickums. Welcome to No MAAM.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my god, it is so fabulous in here. The room smells great. The service is amazing. I'm here for it. Diva, I'm feeling it.
It's giving first class service.
It's giving what it needs to give.
Delta
On
what?
an economy spirit budget.
Oh, I was about to, we don't do that. I was gonna say Delta Comfort Plus.
Or what's the other one? The green one that's also really cheap?
Frontier.
Frontier. Yes, that one was offended.
No ma'am. I'm
No,
so
ma'am.
offended. No.
Okay.
Frontier. I was like, what is that?
I never flown it.
I've flown it
I mean-
maybe a few times back in the days, but
Let's start off with an icebreaker. Babe, why don't you tell the people a little bit about you and kind of what inspired you to get into drag and what your drag persona is all about?
well, of course. Well, first of all, I'm kind of the self-proclaimed dancing mistress of Brooklyn. I've also been called the cleanest high kick in the city, which shout out to Vanny Levane, who is my drag niece and sister. My drag in layers, so very much it is old school drag with new school drag ideas, of course. The old school has always inspired me. 80s, even the 70s variations of drag has been like so influential on me. And of course, new age, we're always about trying new things, we're always about doing new things, but most importantly, doing it as ourselves. So yeah, my drag is old school, very influential of old schools, 80s, 90s, 70s has been so influential on me. But with new school ideas, like being able to push forward and think, what else can drag do? What else can we include into the drag world? And I guess if you check out my Instagram, I have such a portfolio that it showcases very well. Getting into drag was very, very interesting. I've said this on many podcasts, but I have to thank my ex, because without that, like, having to leave him, having to find things to do things better for myself, and realizing that first of all, I used to watch Drag Race all the time. We would watch the reruns from season 1 all the way to whatever season that was available, including the All Stars, including the spin-offs at the time. And he didn't really get into it because he hated the drama and everything. And I'm like, I live for the drama, because the drama created so much more life, so much more vibrancy, so much more personality for everybody. And realized that it's okay to get into drama. It's just how and what kind of drama you get into. But we used to watch Drag Race, and one day I was just like, I can do that. Like, even he said at some point that I can do that, because I, first of all, had a career as a makeup artist spanning 10 years, been a dancer since very, very young, did ballroom, ballet, African dance, you name it, I've done it. And then after we broke up, I moved back with my parents, and I used to go out a lot. I used to go to the Ritz a lot before the renovations. I'm talking like when Holiday used to have the open call on Fridays at the Ritz. I would go and I would just sit there and be like, oh my God, especially the first time. I was so excited. I was like, I'd never been to a drag show, so it was technically my first time. And I'm just there and I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I'm sitting and I'm like, here's $1. Yeah, I'm doing great. And then one day I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get up there. I bought my first wig, got my first outfit, my pair of tights, hits, corset, heels, you name it. I already had makeup because I was a working makeup artist. Got the whole shebang on. I messaged Holiday and was just like, yeah, I want to try this out. I want to do it. And I did I remember, because that's my drag anniversary is September 16th, which is 8 days later from my birthday, which is September 8th, for everybody who can't do math right now. American education. Listen, let's recognize real American education.
Ranked number 1 in military, 8 in education or something like that.
Some shit like that. All I know is that we're not one, so
That.
that. And so, I did the thing. And by the way, that same video is still up on my Instagram of my you gotta scroll back though, of my very first time in drag. And by God, I won. And it was so interesting because it was just like I'm in a room filled with people who've been doing this for like it wasn't even like new people. It was weird because the time I went to see it, I was thinking like, oh, this is like a category for new people in drag who are just starting out for the first time. And I get there and I'm like, these are people who have been in the game for like 2, 3 years. And it's just me, and I'm like just 5 minutes into drag, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on anymore. Everybody looks more prettier than me.
No, I was gonna say you. So one thing I love about your drag is every time I see you, especially when you have a blonde wig on, you honestly remind me of Pamela Anderson. Like it's very much giving that like big blonde hair, the lips, the way you line your lips, everything. Like literally, I think it is like Pamela Anderson.
She actually is one of my inspirations for my drag. It's originally like the Mistresses of the Dark who helped me start my idea of drag, which was Elvira, Morticia Adams, Vampira, and Lily Monster. The four Mistresses of the Night. They kind of inspired my drag because I love that like soft elegance glamour, like very, very Deathly Hollows. But then I remember seeing the movie with Pamela Anderson, not Stripperella, Barbed Wire. And I know she was my ultimate diva for the Ultimate Diva pageant, hosted by Janelle Number 5. Shout out Diva. Fierce pageant. She was one of my inspirations. I remember seeing the movie and the opening sequence. It's just rain falls, her on the stage, and this black, very tight leather dress, very roped up, and this blonde, wet hair just being flung around. And she just looks gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. And then she cut to the scene where she's like, she's actually on a mission. Gag, she's on a mission. She's rescuing some other spoiled brat diva, and you just see her with this like the exact iconic Pamela Anderson blonde bombshell with a razor bang, fully like got a light, and I'm like, oh, that it's so like it's very it's sex, it's femme fatale, it's sexy, but it's also very diva, and that's Question's moment, my ultimate diva. So yeah, but it's funny though. Going back to what I was talking about with the open sets, if you go back and see the videos, I look nothing like that. I look nothing like that. I look like I popped out of some CD's just random trunk talking about I can do drag.
I mean, that's the everybody has to start from somewhere. Nobody comes out
Absolutely.
looking like $1,000,000. You know, everybody has to start somewhere.
Listen, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. We say it all the time on the mic. We say it all the time in the venues, all the time on Instagram. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. I'm officially 2 years into sewing, so like I make my own clothing now. But like before, when I didn't make my own clothes and like didn't know how to do hair or anything, I realized that like this shit is really expensive. Because you either paying somebody or you're one of the Amazon girlies and you're just buying that wig and you're just giving her a shake and then you go.
Yeah. So you gave us a really great explanation of kind of your inspiration of drag. So where did your drag name comes from? And then what was almost your name? Because we've talked to a lot of drag queens and the name that they currently have, not necessarily the name that they was thinking about when they originally started drag.
So yeah, well, let's start with how we got here. Back Sicily, 1996. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it started out with me and my ex. We were together. We were living in 49th Street and 9th Avenue, Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, this is before Vampy. So obviously, so we're just sitting around again. We talk, watching Drag Race, things like that, and then like he kind of gave me a nickname, and it was kind of stupid, and I did not like it. There was one part of it I obviously liked and I kept, which was Vampy. The second name he gave me was Unicorn. I was like, Vampy Unicorn. Okay, it was a sweetheart phase. I just agreed and went with it. I was kind of given one of those Hispanic where you don't know something and you just smile and you just nod. You're like, yeah, we're just gonna agree with that because we don't know. But after we broke up and stuff like that, I was also thinking about my name, right? So I liked Vampy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep that. We're gonna keep Vampy and we're gonna toss out the Unicorn because what part of that really is me? Let's be honest. After 3 years of this, what part of me is that? So throughout the Unicorn. Now, because I used to work in the beauty industry, there was this diva. Her name was Kat Von D. She had a makeup line. I worked in Sephora's. So I got to know her and her brand. I was just like Kat Von D. And I was like Vampy Von. I was like, okay, wait, that's going somewhere. That's very transitional. And My drag name before, like I was just testing, but I didn't really do anything. I used to be Thickums Galore. That used to be my drag name, quote unquote, my dream drag name. So I was just like, wait, Thickums Galore. Okay, so let's see if we could put those two together. It wound up being Vampy Von Thickums Galore. And I just fell in love with it. It was so big, it was dramatic, it was quintessentially me. Because it's like, I'm a very thick diva. You see me on stage, you see me off stage. And Vampy, like I granted, I've said my inspirations. Vaughn obviously is the transitional name. Galore, I loved it because Galore means just endlessly. So that's one thing I am, is just endlessly me.
What part of you shows up in your drag that doesn't really get the space to show up in your everyday life?
Well, that's a very interesting question. What part of me doesn't get to show up in my everyday life?
Do you
I
feel more
guess
free when you're Vampy? Do you have like the freedom to be the person that that you can't, or you view yourself as not being able to when you're not in drag?
Thinking about that, I was just like, there's not a part of me that I feel like is, whether if I'm in or out of drag, is very restricted or hindered from being and existing. There's not a part of me that doesn't feel like I'm not me in and out of drag. I feel like drag just kind of accentuates and gives me a new style, a new look, realistically. But I'm generally just always gonna be me. Like the same fashion I'm talking to you right now, and I'm kind of expressing is the same way I'm going to be outside of drag. Like there's not a really big difference, and I don't believe in like having to be one way and then another. No, I believe in consistency. I believe in realness. This is me. Where you're in and out of drag, trust me. And a lot of people can vouch because I'm just as crazy as I am out of drag. I'll be at the bar cracking the jokes with the girls.
Okay, so how do you protect yourself, like your kind of emotional health, in such like a competitive, chaotic scene?
I think it's most important that people know when it's time to step back. Everybody, and I'm gonna say it like this because it's kind of real. We see it all the time. Everybody wants to shove their head up someone else's ass. And I'm so serious. Like there's a point where everybody is just always on somebody about something, about a conversation, about a gig, of possible shows or producing shows or this, that, and the third. I think it's also being able to read a room is the most important thing. When you read a room, you're able to read a person's energy. When you read a person's energy, you can determine or get a sense of their thought process, of how they're feeling, how are they physically, how they are visually seated. Like some people just like really slouch back and just like give you that straight face, like they're not into. Or some people just sit very straight up, like very happy, approachable. I think it's most important is just understanding when it's time to step back. You do not always need to be up somebody's ass, realistically.
So now, obviously, being in New York City, we know that individual boroughs pretty much shape people's drag, shape people's experience. You said in the beginning, Brooklyn. We all know how I feel about Brooklyn. But what borough raised your drag the most? Because, yeah, you may be Brooklyn's diva, but you do perform a lot in Manhattan. And so Manhattan drag and Brooklyn drag are totally different scenes. And so which borough do you think really shapes who Vampy is?
Most certainly, 100% without a doubt, Brooklyn. I am a Brooklyn diva. I am Brooklyn bred, but Brooklyn hands down has shown me that like I don't have to be just this stunty cunty diva. I can also be super quirky. I can portray characters. I can do so much. I'm gonna reference my Instagram there. Follow me at Vampy B Thickums. My hope, I don't use Instagram as just like, oh, here's what's going on in my life. Oh, here's what's going on. Instagram can also be your portfolio. I've seen brands reach out to me because they like what's going on in their Instagram feed. They people do pay attention to see how many likes you get, how many followers you do have. The unfortunate part of society, but that's how it works. I use that as a portfolio. Like I've done face paints. Use it as your portfolio, and that portfolio is very evident of how Brooklyn has raised me. You could be anything that you want. And it's so funny to me that you brought the whole borough situation up. I hear when I'm in Manhattan, I hear the girls talk about Brooklyn girls all the time, how they're weird, how they're just like so different, so out there. When in reality, Brooklyn is just fine arts taken to what drag is. Drag, shout out to the Boulay brothers, because drag is subjective, art is subjective. Wait, what is it? What did they say?
Drag is subjective. Drag is art, and art is subjective.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Brooklyn is. We're all just subjective. We take what we understand about life and about the things that we see, what we feel, and we incorporate that into our drag. And of course, there's the reverse viral race saying how the showgirls is that and the third, oh, comedy queens, ha 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 ha, and all those other things. But
Mm-hmm.
I lay that to rest and say you could be anywhere you want. It's just Brooklyn definitely brought me up because the people most importantly. That is the most important part. Whether it's drag artists or the community, people have helped me see that like I can do things in any way that I want. So
Well, since you mentioned the Boulay brothers, I'm curious, would you follow your mother's footsteps and go on Dragula, or would you rather, like, if given the opportunity, obviously, and if you had a choice, or would you rather do Drag Race?
that is a fantastic question because I've had multiple conversations with myself. Like I can give two fucks about what other people think because I promise you, if you do not have this conversation by yourself, you will never have an understanding of where you want to go. Because other people can say, "Oh, you look like this, so you can go that way." You don't want to hear that. You want to hear what you can relate to, what you feel internally, and what you feel like. Yeah, I feel like I can shine. I can hit it on the mark and go just as far. Me personally, to answer your question. I feel like I can go either direction. Would I go on Dragula? Absolutely. I absolutely would. I'm not afraid of doing weird things. Like when I did, I hate to bring it up. When I did Bitch Fest, I literally took a cigarette and put it out with my mouth, like the full burnt ends. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
I've done the weird shit, as many people say. But then also, when people look at me like I could probably do Drag Race because obviously performer, I can. And any lip sync, give it to me. I will give it like Lisa Edwards or Kennedy Davenport. I will give it to you either way. And challenges, I could do very well in a sewing challenge. Obviously,
Well,
But yeah.
producers, you heard it here. Cast her if you're watching. Either one from either show.
I
Yeah.
actually have met the Boulay brothers, and they're actually very cool. They recognize me. It was actually this past tour. It was with Jaharia, Asia Consent, and all them in Grey Matter. I found out Grey Matter actually digs me. I was like, oh wait, stop playing with me. I mean, they're cute at a drag, too. They're cute at a drag. But when I spoke with the Boulay brothers, they recognized me. They're like, wait, you're Madeline's kid. I was like, wait, how the fuck did you know that? I mean, obviously, because they love Madeline.
Yeah.
But they recognize me. They're actually very pleasant to have a conversation with. We were actually going to have a good minute conversation. I was just like, how about we just take this picture so everybody else in the VIP meet and greet could just do their thing? Because we were going to have a conversation for a sec.
Anyway, now it's time to ask you our kind of infamous question that trips some people up. So we want you to describe your drag as if it were a grinder bio. I love that laugh. Oh my god. That is an infectious laugh.
A grinder profile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Like directly the bios, or we're talking about like the tags?
The bio. I
Okay,
mean, you
okay.
can add tags if you want. If you want to add tags, add tags. It's up to you.
Okay, so let's see. I didn't think we'd get this far. Okay, no, okay, I got it. Okay. Hey everybody, it's me, Vampy, literally delicious, a little bit vampy. Just ready to just have fun, get out there, enjoy everything, and more. If you ever want to hang out sometime, always down, I'm just here, thick, delicious, flexible, very agile, very diva.
You
That's
only
what I
have
got.
150 characters.
See, I would have.
It's
See,
literally only 150 characters. That's it.
how would
I hope that was like 100 at least.
No, girl, that was way more than 150 characters. But see, I don't know, as you were describing, as you were saying it, like what popped up into my head for you was like blonde bombshell with like a dark side or something like that. I think that'd
I
be
think about
perfect.
You know what it is? I'm wearing a black hair right now, and I see myself on the screen. I'm just like, I can't say blonde right now. So this
Yeah,
is like the profile.
I love that.
All right. So, because we can't let you go without you playing our signature game, right?
Oh,
So
here we
we're gonna
go.
play not too much. So there are 9 questions in 3 categories. You're gonna answer all the questions. You just get to choose which order you want to go in first. So the categories are: you ate that, she's that girl, and girl what. So what category would you like to go first?
Let's do She Ate That.
All right. Okay. So the first question is: what drink triggers your gag reflex?
I'm gonna say Long Island. Oh my god, I
Adios.
forgot. Yes. That one kind of got that kind of makes me. I don't know too much to say about that. All I know is that it's that one drink where it's just like me personally. If I drink it, especially if a certain person makes it, it makes it so dense, it's so very very alcoholic with the main. I forgot the main ingredient. I'm not a bartender.
In the Long
But
Island, girl, it's all the alcohol. It's gin, tequila, vodka, rum, triple sec. It's all of them.
okay, then the guy who I go to was at Macquarie. Shout out to him. Forgot his name. He's new, but he made it so sweet. I didn't even taste that shit at all.
Oh,
Which explains why I was walking home real crazy that one night.
well, I mean, if it's done right, the idea is you don't taste the alcohol. That's why it's called like a Long Island iced tea. It's because it's supposed to just taste like tea, but
Mhm.
secretly it's like 90% alcohol.
Okay, I get that drink rarely. When I do get it, because certain people who I hang out with, that's actually their favorite drink.
So you need to
I
stay
just
away
I
from
just
those people.
I just
Those people are dangerous.
Okay.
listen. Okay, listen. I gotta backtrack because I'm a rum punch kind of girl. Like I like it sweet, and I like it when it hits you later. That's my
Mm.
kind of drink. Or whiskey sour when you just want like something a little bit more dense to the drink, but it still tastes just as sweet. Like that's my kind of drink. The other one I don't know, but
Okay. So second question is, what's the worst food to order on a first date?
wow, these are really great questions. Worst food to order on a first date? I'm gonna say the obvious and say anything with garlic. Obviously, because if you're on a date and you just smell all that garlic and that bad breath, especially when you're in a rush and you forget to brush your teeth, that's already bad. But add in the garlic, oh my god. And you go to
Mhm.
lean into them, you go to give them that kiss, you go to talk to them all sexy, and you just smell that garlic, baby. Not me.
Okay. And then the last question, and you ate that, is if you were made out of food, what food would you be made out of?
I'm gonna say a 4-layered breadcrumb baked mac and cheese. Especially during the specifically the one that you get during Thanksgiving, and that pole is just so deliciously like stringy. You get that nice like beautiful top crust, but the inside is just so gooey and so delicious. Like
See, now I gotta make mac and cheese because you made me hungry.
you're so very welcome.
Okay.
No, but cheese
We
is
have
expensive.
It's true. So we have she said girl left, and we have girl what? What are we choosing?
Let's go with girl what.
Okay. So the first question is, what is one social obligation that's always a waste of time?
One social obligation that is a waste of time. Girl. I don't know if it's essentially an obligation because you do have a choice. Being able to talk with every single person in the room. That's why I feel like it's not really necessary. I feel like you get a few people, yes, but I feel like if you have to talk to every single person in the room, which I've had some people when they book me for certain things, like they tell me, I gotta talk to every single person in the room, like go do that. I'm like, the fuck you mean? I could talk to a few people and have a genuine conversation. But girl, what? Like I'm not gonna go over there and just be like, oh hi, how you doing? What's the name? Oh, okay, great, thanks for coming. I'm not gonna do all that. People don't come for that fake bullshit.
Okay. So now we're gonna do a fuck Mary kill. But
Okay.
this is going to be with national landmarks. So you have Niagara Falls, you have the Hollywood sign, and you have the Statue of Liberty.
Okay. Niagara Falls, the Statue of Liberty, and what was the
The
middle one? I'm
Hollywood
sorry. The
the
Hollywood
Hollywood
sign.
sign.
I'm loving this interview. This is incredible.
I feel like
Okay,
the fuck is obvious, at least in my eyes.
okay, I was gonna say fuck the Hollywood sign. Yeah.
I want to know why. Unpack
Okay.
that.
Because like everything else in Hollywood, when you go to chase your dream, sometimes you get fucked over. Sometimes it could be something long term or short term. So just like sex, just fuck it.
Okay, so who
I
you marry?
definitely Niagara Falls. It's a beautiful place. It's just like as much as you get sprayed in the face with water all day, it is a bit more of a breath of fresh air and like just that wall of water is just it's calming. It's calming. I've never been, but I've always seen on YouTube. That's this economy. I'm a drag queen. And I guess kill the Statue of Liberty.
Ooh, not killing freedom, but I mean Donald
Well,
Trump
yeah,
already done that.
it's so funny to me. We look at it on the outside and we see a beautiful woman, to whom that may be, of the French circuit, holding the torch, talking about freedom. But if you go underneath, apparently there's shackles still on her ankles. So is she really free?
I think they're broken.
Are they?
I think they broke.
I gotta look back. Listen, I'm not one of the sources. I've never been physically. I always see things on YouTube because I'm a drag queen. I can't afford that. But
no real New Yorker has been to the Statue of Liberty, girl. We see it from afar, and that's it. We see it from Battery Park. Battery Park is the closest we get to it.
Thank you. Listen, the same way every New Yorker has not been to see the ball drop.
Never.
Be real.
Never. I've seen the ball drop too. I don't know what y'all talking about. So,
in person?
Yeah.
No, do that to yourself. I've seen several balls drop.
I've seen the ball drop in person, and I've seen the Statue of Liberty. But okay, so the last question in Girl What is, what's something that you find sexy that you're pretty sure that no one else does?
Oh, that's kind of hard because that's very, very subjective. What is something I find sexy that nobody else does? Oh, this answer is gonna twirl a lot of people. Gooning.
Okay. We are about to end up on the weird side of Twitter.
You know what? You're welcome. And this is why me and JK get along. But no, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not going to go into. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so now we have She's That Girl. So the first question is, who is the best fictional witch of all time?
Oh my god, fictional witch. No, this is a real hard question for me. Oh my god. I guess we're gonna have to go with. Oh my god. What is her name? The Grand High Witch from
Angelica Houston.
Thank you. Yes.
That's
she played it.
What I was thinking of too. Yes.
That is a real witch. She had more power than any other witch in existence. But because she was so regal about everything, she let little things get between her, and that's how we weren't able to see her full capacity. So I mean, granted, she focused on children, but still.
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking. Like, as soon as you asked, I was like, Angelica Houston. I forgot the name of the movie, but
We're here.
Right?
We synced.
Okay. So name a problematic celebrity you would really get along with.
Should I say Ginger Minch? No, stop. Ooh, that's hard. I don't even like problematic people in general. Problematic celebrity that I would get along with. I'm gonna say nobody because I don't like problematic people.
Okay.
Come on, pageant answer.
Sure. The last question is, what is the best holiday movie of all time?
Last Holiday, that is the best. I'm sorry. The fact that you think you're gonna die, but you just go ahead and spend all the wealth, and then all of a sudden you find out that you're not gonna die, that is just a pure reason to realize that life is too short and you need to get your ass out there and just do it. That is the best holiday movie with a great lesson.
My favorite scene in that is that scene when she's in the French restaurant and she orders everything.
Oh, and she comes out in that red gown. Baby. I was like, that is a diva. And she is here to eat.
Yep. I would absolutely do that if I had that kind of money. Give me one of everything.
I mean, granted, it was her savings from her. I believe it was her mother. Was it?
Something
it was her savings from her mother. Yeah.
And she used it all because she thought she was gonna die, and then found out that it was just a spot in the X-ray machine that just needed to be fixed.
I would sue the fucking become richer.
Right.
But she got LL Cool J, and that's all that matters. You know, full-headed LL.
Speaking about problematic celebrities.
I mean, he's not as problematic anymore. He's grown.
Yeah,
Well, speaking of growing, this episode was so amazing because we got to see Vampy in a different light. She's really getting out there and showing the world who she is as a solo act, and we couldn't be more excited about this journey for Vampy. 2026 will be your year. No Ma'am said it first. No Ma'am said it first, y'all. But make sure you follow Vampy on all of their socials. So Vampy, where can they find you?
Yes, of course. You can follow me on all social platforms at Vampy B Thickums. That's VAMPY BE Thickums.
Right. We like thickness over here.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
really have to think about what that actually spelled out.
One of us, apparently, one of us.
I was like, wait.
I mean, honestly, you and every person that comes to my show just ready for that drink to hit, so it's okay.
Exactly. But, friends, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode. And if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify podcasts, rate us 5 stars.
Thank you, Charles.
Until next time, bye, y'all.